Greetings YouTube, LMS Tactical here. I hope everybody's doing good. Listen, I know we're all busy and I'm always the guy with excuses, but don't give up on me. It's been a hectic couple of months. I also had to take a little bit of a break from YouTube because I had some strikes, and one more and that would have been it. So you got to let time go by so that you can be back in the green, so to speak. I'm on the way home from dropping my father off. He's having surgery, and just not a serious thing. I'll pick him up tomorrow. But I wanted to talk about this impeachment, especially for my friends in South Africa. I know you're hearing a lot of news, and probably there's a lot of confusion. Don't feel bad. There's a lot of confusion in the States.
10 minutes of delay were added to your route.
There's a lot of confusion here in the States as well. Simply because, and you guys have an excuse, it's not your system, but a lot of people in the United States, for whatever reason, especially young people, they don't seem to have an understanding of what impeachment is. I'm not a constitutional scholar by any stretch, but I have a basic understanding, and I'm going to just try and calm your fears for those of you in South Africa and in the US who think that Trump is gone. He's not going anywhere, first of all. Let me just get that right out here. Yes, he was impeached, but an impeachment does not mean that the president is going to be removed. It's a process, and the way I describe it is, it's like, and this is a bad way of describing it, but I'll just use my own style. It's like a lawsuit. Let's say that you sued me because you said that I tortured your dog. You could sue me for that. And if you brought a bunch of witnesses, now in this case, imagine I'm the president, so I'm just switching the scenario to something easier to understand. So you bring a lawsuit against me for torturing your dog, and all your witnesses, none of them saw me torture the dog, but they either heard that I tortured the dog, or they just knew me and knew I was an asshole, and they felt like I was a dog torturer guy. That's kind of what happened during the whole impeachment thing. There was no direct evidence, blah, blah, blah. So the government, the House, is controlled by the Democrats. They're responsible for bringing impeachment against the president, and that's what they did. Even though we all know that was bullshit, they did it. The Senate, which is controlled by the Republicans, are the people that are going to adjudicate the case, meaning that it'll become like a trial situation. Now, as you know, Nancy Pelosi is holding on to the articles of impeachment for some crazy reason. I mean, they're just making up shit as they go. They know that once they follow the rules and hand the articles of impeachment over to the Senate for the trial to begin, that they lose full control of the process, and it'll be handled by the conservatives or the Republicans, who are not going to rule in favor of ousting the president. That's never going to happen. Not in a million years. President Trump will go nowhere. In fact, what this has done, in my opinion, is solidify his reelection. We already knew he was going to be reelected, but any liberal or left-wing Democrat in America who was even slightly able to think for themselves and was not following the party line and letting their hatred for the president dictate. Anybody that could think a little bit has left the party and are realizing that their party's fucking nuts, and they've come over to support Trump. It's happening every day in droves, especially with black and other minorities. They realize that they've been bullshitted and lied to by the left, and that Trump is everybody's president, and he's done more work in 1 minute than the last 6 presidents have done in their whole fucking careers. So Trump will go down in history as being the only president who was impeached and then reelected in the same year. Or not the same year, but in the same term, you know. Went from impeachment to right into reelection, which that's what's going to happen. Now, what is Pelosi's plan? Who knows? She's nuts. Maybe she wants to hold on to it and delay the process so that
the second lane from the right,
so that it can
exit to I-95 South.
Hopefully that'll make people, in their mind, maybe they think people won't vote for him because he's still got this impeachment thing coming up. Who knows? It doesn't matter, though. If you're worried about Trump going somewhere, your worries should be completely over by
In
now,
1/2 mile,
as you realize
keep
that
left to I-95, then keep
he
left.
is going to be our president after 2020, no doubt about it. I do worry about his safety. I ask that everybody keep praying for him, because these people hate him so much that they are willing to destroy our country and screw with the sacred process of impeachment, because they were mad that they lost the election to somebody that doesn't
Keep
play their
left to
corruption game.
I-95, then keep
So he's going to
left.
need a lot of prayers. If you believe, please pray for our president, because he's not just America's president, he's everybody's president, because what he does and what he can do and will do affects the world. I mean, let's just be honest. And we've got to
either of
shut
them
up.
two
We've got a
left lanes.
really good president here in the White House, the best ever in my opinion, and we need to support him in every way possible. So when you hear people saying, oh, he got impeached, you know, actually there's another constitutional guy that came out today and said that because they haven't turned the articles of impeachment over, he's technically not even impeached, because the process is very clear that they need to bring that over to the Senate and let them take possession of it. Well, they know once they do that, the charade is over. And what I'm hoping and what I'm counting on is that this is going to backfire in every way possible, and we're going to start seeing, after Trump is reelected, some arrests. And that's another reason these guys are terrified of him, because they know that that he's a real president.
Continue on I-95.
And he respects the rule of law. I want you to think about something too. The president of the United States, I'm not an expert, but he makes about $400,000 or so a year. It's not much. Congress, look it up. Who knows what they make? It's not much. You're working for the government. But every single president and elected official comes in with whatever they come in with, and they leave multimillionaires. Obama just bought this beautiful 13-acre or $13 million house in Kitty Bunk or whatever the hell it was in Maine, where all the rich people live. He didn't help anybody in the fucking African American community. He's a rich white guy like everyone else. You know, the Clintons are multi-millionaires. Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, is a fucking convicted drug addict and a piece of shit. And he was making more money doing nothing. They just put his name on the board so they could have direct corrupt ties to the White House by way of Vice President Biden at the time. So this is why they're terrified, because Trump is not somebody that can be bought. He's the only president in history to work for free. He doesn't take any money for the job, and he's losing money because he's not conducting his business. You know, I think somebody in the family is, his daughter or somebody, but he's losing money. He's actually working for free because of his love for America. It's never happened before. So he can't be bought, he can't be corrupted, and this is what terrifies them, because a man like him on a second term is going to put a fucking end to their gravy train of ripping off tax dollars from America. Just like the Clintons ripped it off from all the money they were supposed to give to Haiti from their Clinton Foundation, which was a sham. You know, this is why people die. People turn up missing, because there's a lot of people that know a lot of things. And the closer we get to some arrests, the more they're worried that somebody's going to talk. You know, that's why Epstein killed himself. Ha ha. You know, these are some dirty motherfuckers, and it's a great day to be alive, because we're living in a time to see America sadly come as close as we've ever come to losing our country. But God put the right man in the White House at the right time, and it's going to be glorious to see him unfuck the system and have these people all brought to the surface. Remember, he ran on draining the swamp, and the swamp is bigger and deeper than any of us thought, and the piranha are pissed off that the water's going away and they're being exposed. So hang in there, don't lose hope, don't lose faith, and keep on pushing for President Trump. You guys stay safe. God bless you, God bless America, and God bless President Trump. LMS Tactical, I'm out.